What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. And this one, I'm going to be showing how to make the interior for your Refresh series aquarium. This is going to be part 1 of the interior, and this one we're going to be doing the entire layout along with maybe a few other small details depending on how the time goes. But I plan to get the walls of a lot of the tanks in, only really the ones with the flat walls. So yeah, there's a lot of sections to this, as you can see. You got like a whole, fun little theater here. And I'll explain a lot of it as we go about doing the sections, but yeah, there are some blank hallways. I'll explain that as well, and just like some general ideas for what you could do with them. But yeah, as you see, we have a lot of enclosures here. Pretty much any aquatic animal that is in this game has an enclosure in this. These are these are the turtles. Where are the dolphins? Oh no, they're the back one, aren't they? And they're just gone. Yeah, I forgot that they did that. They just kind of vanish sometimes. Anyway, that is also, with that being said, enjoy the tutorial. I'm going to go respawn those dolphins, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Alrighty, so the space for me for this is, we don't need any space. All I need is your aquarium from whenever. You do need to head inside, though, and I'm going to give myself some night vision so I can see. The first thing you want to do is break your entire floor and replace it with light gray concrete. I'm going to do a huge chunk of this with slash fill, but, yeah, you don't... Alright, that's good. Words. Wow. Yeah, that's splendid. What the hell was I trying to say? I'll get there in a second. Oh, yeah, there are a couple sections that aren't light gray, but we're just going to worry about those later. You don't really need to be thinking about those at all right now because they don't matter. But... yeah, and obviously some is getting overlayered, but I just think that it makes sense to get as much of this filled as we can immediately. The only other thing that I would point out is underneath the windows on the tall windows here at the back, the outside of them where I have the green concrete, I might suggest making that gray concrete. I did on the original. I'm not going to worry about it here because of the way that I'm filling this, but just, a thought potentially for what you could be doing with that. Okay, that's that whole section. Now I just gotta do all this. Which I guess I have to do this one manually. But, oh wow, a Reanimal trailer just dropped. That's actually crazy. Why would you drop that as I'm starting? Could you not have dropped that, like, I don't know, 30 minutes ago? I gotta watch that. Reanimal is, the game made by, one of the new games coming out made by Tarsier, who were the LN 1 and 2 makers, but not 3, since 3 is being made by Supermassive, who helped with 2. So yeah, just for context for anybody who's not aware, it looks really good. Like I think it rivals. It's like a 3-way rivalry for my most anticipated game right now. It's between Reanimal, LN3, and Silksong. If Silksong's even real at this point, I don't know if it is. I know we've had news recently, but like, it's not mean much, frankly. with how long it's been, that does not mean much. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how real it truly is. Anyway, it's a solid 3 minutes of floor. But yeah, as mentioned, as we move through, we'll kind of change the sections that we need to. I think there's only 2 that were actually, maybe 3 areas we're gonna have to touch. I don't know about the dolphin and the turtle enclosures. I don't know if they go low enough for that to be a problem, but even if it is, it's like 3 rows. I know there's like the little front tube here with that doesn't actually have fish. There's nothing in it, just a glass tube with water in it. I know there's that, and then there's also the little shark area. Anyway, yep, you should end up with this. Nice. The next thing we're going to do is lay out some of the walls in this front area. So get out the following. Gray concrete, pale oak wood, blue wool, smooth quartz slabs, acacia stairs. And we can do the ceiling there, why not? We'll get some stuff done. Quartz slabs and sea lanterns. So, for this main area, one other thing you're going to want to get out as well, actually, is blue stained glass. And what you can do is extend the blue glass on both sides back with a blue glass. And then from there on the right, it'll be 2 gray concrete and a pale oak wood. And on the left, it should just be 3 gray concrete. On the left, you'll keep just, like, tracing the stone bricks here with gray concrete until you reach the end here of this particular row of 5. Behind that, you'll have a pale oak wood. And then going right, you'll leave a gap of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next block, pale oak wood. And then going right from that, you're going to place 13 gray concrete. Pale oak wood. A gap of 6 this time. Pale oak wood. And if you check this gap of 6, you'll see you're not actually centered. You're pretty close to centered, though. It can't be centered. I don't know why it's like that, but it is. I guess just kind of try about it. Then go right from there with 14 gray concrete. Pale oak wood. Gap of 4. Pale oak wood. And then if you trace this forward, you'll end up being... That feels wrong. You'll end up being... No, actually, that is right. You'll be 3 blocks off, so it'll be... I guess 1 is in line with the pale oak. 2, 3, 4 will be in line with the other pale oak. I actually thought that was wrong. I'm not going to lie. But it's correct. You'll extend each pale oak wood onto the back wall all the way up until you hit something or other. Most of them it'll be blue concrete, but not all of them. And yeah. Nice. On the right side over here, this particular front one, you will extend up by 6. And then you're pretty much going to follow the light gray wool here with sideways pale oak wood just kind of sticking in a row. And it'll end up 1 block inside of the pillar here. That's fine, just don't really worry about that. The pale oak wood from here, you'll actually end up taking the back one here and just extend it left by 3 with sideways pale oak wood to connect into that pillar. Over the gaps on the other sets, you want to take the 5th pale oak wood up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just place sideways pale oak wood connecting together for the doorways. Make sure you leave the openings that we have under the pale oak. Here you want to fill in everything else with blue wool. Basically overtop the gray and then just kind of fill in the gaps above from there. But yeah. Did I say the thing yet? No, I did, yeah, because it was during the floor. This room is like the lobby where you would, I guess, get your tickets. Because you need tickets to... Do you need tickets for an aquarium? I haven't been to an aquarium in a while. I'm pretty sure you do, though. Yeah, no, you need to buy something or other. They don't just let you explore for free now. That wouldn't be nice. Oh, yeah, also bring the blue glass up. I should probably mention that one. Because, you know, that's kind of sort of important. Anything else fun I can share? I don't think so. What is the next refresh? I don't even know. It's not Dairy Queen. No, Dairy Queen was the one before. It might be Wendy's, but I don't feel like it's Wendy's either. I don't know. I'll try to remember to check it before the end of next part. Because I guess it doesn't matter yet, but... I don't know, I always do like to mention it. Because it's always good to know. Anywho, you should have this. There's not a ton else in this room. The only other thing I'd say is in the ceiling here, where you have this, like, polished blackstone brick thing. You'll just take the gray concrete and bring it all the way down. We'll deal with that later. That looks like a giant mushroom, but it's not supposed to be. We'll ignore it for now. On the right side over here, this opening is the one we're going to focus on first. You want to take the back pale oak wood here and extend this at the bottom right with the following pattern. A gray concrete, 5 acacia stairs, gray concrete, 5 acacia stairs, and then a bunch of gray concrete. How many though? 10 gray concrete, forward diagonally right with a pale oak wood, and then forward diagonally right with another gray concrete. Extend that gray concrete forward by 7. Forward diagonally left with a pale oak wood, and then forward diagonally left with a gray. You'll then extend left with 2 gray. 6 acacia stairs. These should face back. Gray. 6 acacia stairs. Gray. 6 acacia stairs. And then 2 gray. Extend each pale oak wood and acacia stair up by 4. Which will just actually clash into the white wool. And then you'll also bring the gray concrete up with blue wool. To that same height. God. Oh my goodness. There's a little gift shop where you could buy gifts in the shop. I don't know. That's just an educated guess. But, you know. We'll worry more about this on the, you know, decorating interior part, which might actually be short. I don't know which one's going to be longer. I feel like generally decorating is the easier part, so, you know. But granted, with some of the tanks and stuff, it'll be a bit longer. I don't know. I'm just like... I hate these long interiors, because I'm like... I have to mentally prepare so much more for them, because, you know, I don't generally record things in parts anymore like I would for some of the old Hello Neighbor builds, unless they're actually in parts. But, like, for something like this, where it's just going to be an hour and a half of me just doing this, you know, it's something. You'll have this row of white wool here, at the bottom, or at the underside here. You'll actually bring it out an additional row, just, like, block pick it and grab the white wool and bring it out like so. And then place upside down quartz slabs under that. You should be familiar with the pattern here. If you take the left side, you'll go right with 2 upside down slabs. Sea lantern. And then it's actually 4 upside down quartz slabs. Sea lantern, and then 2 more upside down quartz slabs. These 2 rows of sea lantern just go all the way down with the repeating pattern of 2 slabs and a sea lantern. Until you can't do it anymore. Which will end with a singular slab. But yeah. I think I did it like this because if I didn't, the lights would end up, yeah, the lights would end up against the, like, shelves on the sides, and I did not want that. So, yeah, that is basically the reason, but I think as we go about, we're going to do a lot of the ceiling, but not all of it. Like, we're not going to do the ceilings for the tanks, because I'd rather leave them open for, you know, being able to get back in easily. Anyway, that should give you that. If you take the furthest left doorway on this back wall, we'll start this one and then just work our way around, although the 2 are connected, so. Oh my god, I'm sorry. You can clear your inventory and get out the following. Gray concrete. Pale oak wood. Block of coal, blue wool, glass, and honestly I think that's everything we're gonna need for now. I guess we can get out polished blackstone so we can get some of the ceiling out of the way. But on this side here, you want to take this pale oak wood pillar, and just outside of it, you're gonna place a gray concrete with 4 blue wool on top, like so, kind of against the stone bricks here. And so what you can do off this stone brick is you want to place a pale oak wood behind it. Extend it left with a block of coal. Then extend that back by 8. Extend 4, or back diagonally right by 1, sorry. And then back by yet again 8. Back diagonally left. Back 8. Back diagonally right. Back by 8. And then you'll place 2 pale oak wood on the end that both face up. Just for fun, you can go back diagonally left with a gray concrete. Back by 1. And then while we're here, we can actually bring the gray concretes on these sides of all the big windows, just like out another row. If you haven't done this already, I didn't specify to do it before. I don't think I did, at least I might have. So yeah, this could just be me going la 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 la, but I didn't do it, so. That's generally an indication that it wasn't done, is what I have. But I could have been mentioned, who knows. Anywho, the ends of each block of coal row you want to extend up by 5. And in addition to that, I guess you can just connect them together at the top preemptively, since we'll need to do it anyway. And it'll just be nice to get it out of the way. And I'll give you just some rectangles. I'm struggling. There we go. I have an itch on my finger, and I was trying to itch and build the thing at the same time. That was not working. Fill in the center of each one with glass. I mean, it was working better than you would think. Like, itching with my thumb as I'm trying to... Itching my pointer finger with my thumb as I'm trying to use my pointer finger to press buttons. But, you know, it... it wasn't great. It definitely made my key presses a little bit more aggressive. I'm sure that was audibly more aggressive as well. Anyway, you should have this. The pale oak wood on the, like, front side here, you'll just extend up by 4. Nothing really crazy, and then we'll cover that. The 2 over here, you want to extend, I think. Well, at least the first one you can also extend up, just, like, by 5, I'll say. So you're in line. Actually, no, 4. Just do 4. And then this one here at the back, you'll extend all the way up until you hit the polished blackstone bricks. The fifth pale oak wood up here on this doorway, you want to, this, like, I guess the front row, so it should be the top one, but if you brought it up further, then it's not the top one, obviously, but you're going to extend it to the right with 8 pale oak wood. Connect that 8th one to the ground, and I'm going to make that corner upward facing, because I find that to be better. And if you check your doorway, it's 7 wide. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nice. This pale oak wood here, you want to extend all the way forward with gray concrete until you're in line with the front end of that 3rd tank, which is going to be the second from the front, so the second one there, but 1, 2, 3rd over from where we are. So the number is, wait, how much is each tank? 9? Yeah, 9. So 9, 18. It should be 27 gray concrete. I'm not counting that specifically, but you're in line with this block of coal. In front of that, a pale oak wood. Extend that pale oak wood to the right with 9 gray concrete. Pale oak wood. Go back diagonally right with a block of coal. And then these ones are different. You want to extend this block of coal back by 10. Go back diagonally right. Back by 10. Back diagonally right. And then right by 7. Forward diagonally right. Right by 7. Back diagonally right. Right by 7. Forward diagonally right. And then this is a large number. You want to go forward by 21. Like so. And you see if you line up, actually, these front block of coal should be at the same distance forward on both sides. But then from there, you'll extend this block of coal forward diagonally right with a gray, or forward diagonally left, excuse me, with a gray. Left with a pale oak wood. Forward from that with 7 gray. And then forward diagonally left with a pale oak wood. Oh boy. Extend each pale oak wood up with 4 pale oak wood and each gray concrete up with 4 blue wool. We'll deal with the blocks of coals in a second because they're actually all different here. Unfortunately, but yeah. There's also a thing in the center here, which we'll have to do in a minute. It's, oh, it's an axolotl tank, that's what it was. And there might be another. I feel like there's 2, but I could be wrong. You should have this. The block of coal on the left, you're extending either one or each end of these 2 rows up by 5. and then connecting them together at that 5th block. The rest of them, you're bringing the edges up by 4 and connecting them together there. The ones on the left are taller because they can be. I don't really think they need a reason. The turtle one has an actual reason, which is the one over here, for being as it is. But yeah, and then again, you know the drill, fill them all in with glass. Okay, yeah, no, we're not doing half bad here on time. I mean, we only have a little bit of layout, but I mean, it's a start, so can't really be too mad. Although we have yet to do the difficult part. Really, it's not a crazy layout. Like, it's definitely a lot when you're building it, but it's nothing crazy. So, for the axolotl tank, you're going to take where the turtle one is on the right side here. It's this really long one. You'll take the pale oak wood in front of it and count left of it by 6. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to this light gray. You'll then, from this one, count back by 3, 1, 2, 3, and place a pale oak wood here. You can see where that is lined up with this glass and, you know, somewhere on that wall. You'll notice if it's lined up in a minute. You'll extend this pale oak wood to the left with 8 gray concrete. And then another pale oak wood. If you trace this one forward, you're 1 block inside of this doorway here, just like 1 block left of that edge. Extend either side gray concrete back by 6. Or each side pale oak wood back with 6 gray, excuse me. And then another pale oak wood. And if I check there on the left, I'm just like in line with that final glass. Cool. I'll then go back diagonally in from either side with a block of coal and connect them together. Extend the edge coals up by 4 and connect them together at the top row, and then fill in this bottom with glass, fill in the center with glass, which should be a 6 by 3 if everything's been done correctly. You know the drill. Each pale oak wood up by 4 and each gray concrete up with 4 blue wool. And then that's the main bottom floor done. We shall have the back portion and then the upper floor to lay out, and then actually walls within the enclosures to do. And then that'd be the part, I think, at that point. But that's still a lot more than it sounds like. So we can fill in... oh my god, sorry. We can fill in the ceiling for these areas. It is... if you take the, like, tops of the blue wool walls, you're going to be a block up from them and place the ceiling is polished blackstone, like, within this whole hallway here. This kind of... almost like a 9 or a G shape. And yeah, you don't want to go over the enclosures, and you want to make sure you stop at that, like, you know, stop in the areas we have walled off. Because, this should, I think, be the only ceiling that's this height, because I believe the other area where there is a ceiling that's lower, we have a second floor, so I think it's actually lower than this. It might be the same height, I'm not sure. I could just be spewing random things out of my mouth that actually are incorrect. But the shark area is entirely different because that's, well, a shark. It's like a little informal video thing. I'm sure for those of you who have been to aquariums, you've seen them. They have like the video booths where they, I don't know, could be playing shark videos or like just whatever, documentaries. That'll be our next thing to tackle here, I think, once we do that area that it's like in the big room. It shouldn't be too bad of an area to make. Shipping it might be odd, but other than that, it's not particularly odd. Also, I did not mean to fill over this wall. Wow, yeah, this is a section, alright. Anything else to say as I'm filling this? I don't think so. I do definitely think, though, like, I don't think any other refresh interior will come close to as much as this one is gonna be. But I think this kind of also, again, it shows like why I didn't do it, or why I haven't done a remake aquarium. Because I know if I did a remake Aquarium, the whole point of that would be for an inside pretty much, so... You know. But... eventually you must do them, so... You know, plus it's a great thing to have in any city. This, zoos, whatever. Anyway, it should give you this. Nice. At the backside here where you have this pale oak wood, I gotta find that. Okay. You're going to extend the pale oak wood at the bottom here to the right with 11 gray concrete, or to the right with 11 gray concrete. Did I say left? I meant right. I don't know, numbers are hard. You then want to extend back diagonally right with a pale oak wood. And then if you get out nether bricks, cyan terracotta, and I guess smooth quartz blocks. From there you'll go back diagonally right with a nether brick. Extend back 2. Back diagonally left with a cyan terracotta. Then left 2. Back diagonally left with a smooth quartz block. Leave a gap of 5 extending back. 3, 4, 5. Smooth quartz there, and I'll just make sure that's 5, yep. Back diagonally right with a cyan. Right 2. Back diagonally right with a nether brick. Back by 2, and then you'll place a pale oak wood behind that. You extend that pale oak wood up by 4. Then back by what should be 8, I think. No, is it not? No, it is 8. I'm wrong. And then you'll bring it down at that 8th one. Sorry, I don't know why I'm struggling here. Left of that, you'll place another row of pale oak wood that extends all the way up, and it should connect into that corner of polished blackstone brick. Alternatively, since we have 2 corners connected, you'll take the other 2 polished blackstone brick corners and just bring them all the way down with pale oak wood. And this one over here should actually line up with the one we've already placed. At least at the base. This row to the right of the windows at the back, you'll have a gray concrete on the bottom and blue wool for the rest. And actually, you want that... Ignore the top layer, but you do want this like in this corner as well, where you just bring the bottom grays in by 1 and then blue wool above. Just gotta make sure you're filling in your walls. Also, this one here that we never brought up, apparently. The top pale oak woods you'll actually connect together with sideways pale oak woods to create the same square or rectangle, one of the two. I think, no, it's a rectangle, that the polished blackstone brick should have above. Like so. Yeah, clear your inventory and get out the following. Cyan terracotta again. Smooth quartz blocks. Dark oak signs. Mangrove planks. Skeleton skulls. Mangrove stairs. Mangrove slabs. Red nether bricks. And regular nether bricks. So the shark outline here is what we're focusing on building right now. The smooth quartz blocks on either side, if you're looking from the angle that I'm at right here, you want to extend each smooth quartz block up by 4. Then extend them in by 1, up 1, and connect them together there. This row of 5, you'll place rows of smooth quartz on top to get shorter on either side by 1 until you end with a triangle. So a row of 3 and then a row of 1. You'll take the top smooth quartz on each row and extend it up with a cyan terracotta, which should give you this. You'll then take the cyan terracotta behind those on both sides and extend them up by 3. Go up diagonally in, up by 2, and then up diagonally in by 2 and connect together at the top there. Next row back, you will extend up with 4 cyan. Go up diagonally in 1. up with a smooth quartz block, up with the cyan terracotta, and then up diagonally in by one and connect together at the top again. Off these sides of those smooth quartz blocks, I'll also place dark oak signs. Back row of cyan, it's pretty much the same as the last row, just this bottom row is a block taller. So I'll go from the bottom and extend up by 5. Up diagonally in 1. Up 1. Up diagonally in, and then connect together from there. Looks a little goofy right now, but you can kind of see the vision of the shark at least. You will take the nether brick, the outermost one on both sides, and extend it up with 6 cyan terracotta. Go up diagonally in 1. Up. Up diagonally in, and then connect together. And I'll end up filling this middle area in with cyan terracotta. Which will give you this. This should also, I think, lay out the shape for this section, but I'm not sure. On the inside of the mouth here, you'll place really mangrove planks kind of in diagonally from the smooth quartz, which will give you this kind of like arch shape. I'll place skeleton skulls off of each mangrove plank, which will be the teeth. And then I'll bring the side rows of mangrove planks at least back by 2 rows. I'll take the middle row and the top mangrove plank on either side and extend them in with an upside down mangrove stair with an upside down slab in the middle. Place a row of planks behind that and then extend these side planks down with an upside down slab on either side, and that'll give you the doorway. Break the like-ray concrete in between these mangrove flanks along with another row back and fill this little 4x3 or 3x4 with red nether bricks. Whoopsies. Like so. On the inside here, behind the mangrove, you'll place nether bricks and just extend them out by 2. I'll place 3 cyan terracotta on each nether brick and also connect them together where the mangrove planks are. You can get rid of your dark oak signs and get out stripped mangrove wood. And on the sides here, you want to take the... what will it be? The 6th cyan terracotta? Or the 6th nether brick out, actually, and place a stripped mangrove wood behind it on both sides. I'll then... what I'll end up doing is back diagonally out a row, I'll place a nether brick. And extend it back by... we'll just say 4 for now. Off the inside of the final 2, I'll place stripped mangrove wood. Basically, on these sides from the stripped mangrove, I'm going to leave gaps of 4 and place these rows of 2 stripped mangrove. Not once, but twice. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and like so. We'll just worry about the nether bricks once we have this actually laid out. Beyond that, I'll leave a gap of 3 and then place a singular stripped mangrove wood. And a block further out than that, I'll just connect them together with nether bricks kind of there. I am going to square this off, so I'll bring the nether bricks here all the way kind of down and connect them to the nether brick row here just around the stripped mangrove. And I also want to connect them forward to the other corner, at least where you can. On this side, it'll be to the pale oak, but that's because of that particularly that we do need it here. So, yeah. What you can do is you can take the first row of 2 stripped mangrove and... really the first block of that along with these front corners and extend the mangroves up by 3. Connect them within these like 3 block gaps together with upside down mangrove slabs. And then if you take this back stripped mangrove out of the 2 we've brought up, you'll extend the top one on both sides in with 3 red nether bricks and then connect that third one down. Connect the red nether bricks together at each of the 4 rows, and that'll give you a wall. You can get rid of the smooth quartz blocks and get out a block of quartz. And fill in the ceiling. Well, actually, fill in the walls first off with cyan terracotta. Just bring them up by 3, kind of, these little portions. And this particular front area, you'll fill in the ceiling with block of quartz. a block above the mangrove and everything. It's kind of like a little, almost like a theater entrance, kind of. Ooh, that's going to be a fun refresh. I just realized that's one that's going to be made eventually. Anyway, the back area here, you want to take any nether brick on the sides, doesn't matter which one. I do both sides and extend up with 3 cyan terracotta. Try to make sure it's the same on both, though, like that. I'll then go up diagonally in by 1. Up 2. Up diagonally in 1. Up 1. Up diagonally in by 2. And that should connect to the cyan here that you already have in the ceiling. If it doesn't, I would honestly think moving the cyan would be smarter rather than moving the sign in the roof rather than trying to move this. Because if you have this lined up properly, then, you know, it should be fine. But, yeah, you'll bring the cyan all the way along on this side. And also you can fill in the, like, back wall as you're doing this with cyan terracotta to kind of fill the shape. But, yeah, it is up to you how much you do. I wouldn't actually do that yet because the 2 walls are different. I mean, the back one is cyan where the actual screen is, and then the one where you're sitting is red nether brick. And also we have to bring the mangroves, so. Will this be one shorter on both sides? Oh no, that just goes all the way, okay. Oh yeah, no, that goes all the way into where the shark would be, right? Okay, that makes sense. I forgot how I built this. It's been a minute since I built this one. Like, I'm currently doing donut shop refresh, building-wise. Which is like 10 refreshes in the future. So, you know, I'm a little bit out there. I really should have just like picked the furthest out one. That would have made a lot more sense, but whatever. You should have this. As I mentioned, the like back wall with the nether brick base is cyan terracotta. The front wall where you have the red nether bricks already, you'll just bring them the rest of the way up to fill in that wall. And yeah, I think for an area like this, we're not going to worry about lighting yet, and we're going to consider that an actual detail. So yeah. Although that's not it, so don't leave this room yet. Almost there. Cool. The strip mangrove on the sides you kind of want to follow around the shape with. You just want to, you know, go inside of the cyan with a block. Or by a block, whatever. And you're going to want a bunch of these strips. Okay, I thought something weird happened at the top, but no. That's kind of like almost like inside the shark. I kind of tried to, you know, make that in Minecraft. This would be like, I guess, the inside of the gills more than anything, like the throat. I don't know. But I thought that'd be a cool thing to kind of do, where you're actually inside it. Theming is always something with builds. It's like, not necessarily theming, but I guess kind of theming. To where, like, if you're making especially when it's something like an aquarium, you know, make it aquatic themed rather than just some, like, modern thing. Especially with something like this. Anyway, you should end up with this. And again, we'll deal with the rest of this in the next part. But yeah. If you head outside of the shark into this main area, you can really just fill in the rest of the walls with blue wool. I'll just clear my inventory and grab out only blue wool for right now. And yeah, I mean, it's just filling it in flat with the other walls we have. Either marked or actually there. A lot of this build also uses natural lighting rather than physical lighting. Generally, I feel like aquariums are dimly lit anyway, so. But, like, I don't actually think there's a single light in this large room here. It's all from the windows and the skylight. It's always fun to mix skylights and actual lights. Skylights give you some great lighting, especially with vibrant visuals, but because it's not noon, it doesn't really cast a shadow on the actual thing. Anyway, this hallway here, you can get out the following. You're probably going to need nether bricks and cyan terracotta again. Nether bricks you might not, but cyan you should. Block of coal, glass, polished blackstone, and gray concrete. That should be everything. So on this side with the shark, you're going to just kind of bring the nether brick. As I mentioned, you want it on all the corners. You want the cyan terracotta, the 3 rows also that far. So yeah. From there, you're going to place a block of coal further. And you're going to extend it back an additional 22 is what your number should be. Then you actually want to get out pale oak wood and place one to the left. Go back diagonally left with a gray. Left by 5. Forward diagonally left with a pale oak wood. Forward diagonally left with a gray. Well, I guess it's back diagonally left actually because it's the back wall. But you'll connect left into the window. And it should be a row of 5 gray right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 connecting into the window. And I'm actually just going to trace the stone bricks with gray concrete right now as we're here. I might also set the time to night. Yeah, I'm going to set the time to night. So you can see a bit better. Take the ends of this block of coal row and extend them up by 4 and connect them together. Fill in the center of this with glass. And then the ceiling in this area is going to be a block above this row of block of coal, so it'll be polished blackstone right here. And as you fill in the ceiling with polished blackstone, any walls that you don't have brought up, you'll just bring up by the 4. So this was the same height as the other one, I was wrong. Yeah. And also go over the windows here on this side with the blue wool arrow, since you'll need to for the number to work. Whoopsies. And yeah. Whole lot of filling. I think I'm going to be scared of the blue wool after this tutorial, I'm not going to lie. And I'll bring the cyan terracotta up a row as well. And yeah. As I have been kind of hinting at, lighting will be done later in hallways like this. It's not like embedded in the ceiling, it's those like hanging down lights. And they're really just in like specific spots based on other things, rather than in a pattern. It's mainly so you can, you know, have them or whatever, or use them. See things. That's the word. You should have this. That's the entire bottom floor laid out, other than the actual enclosures themselves, but we're not particularly worried about all of that just yet. I mean, the fronts of them are all laid out, but not the actual enclosures themselves. With this current set of materials, you can actually get rid of your nether bricks and get out stone brick stairs, and you should have another slot for light gray wool. And if you head back to the front into this doorway here, or opening, you're going to place your row of stone brick stairs at the bottom. Extend it up diagonally back by 4. And just, you know, make sure you have all 4 rows. And then on the sides of that top row, you want to place... It should be pale oak wood that... I'm just going to bring it all the way up, actually, until it touches the white wool ceiling. I don't know if you need it that high, but we're just going to go that high for now. But the side walls of the staircase are filled in with light gray wool, since you already will have it here. Again, like a lot of things you'll notice, the way they line up is just really, really perfectly. At least for, you know, what we kind of need, but... From the pale oak wood over top, the staircase are going to go up diagonally back by 4 with polished blackstone. Which then confirms that our ceiling is just directly against the white wool. If you get rid of your cyan terracotta and get out light gray concrete, Off of these stairs here, you want to place 5 rows of light gray concrete. And you'll notice, again, you'll perfectly connect with the corner of the enclosure there. You extend this all the way right until you crash into the right wall. Which, I'll just go on top of this mood course, that's not a huge deal. And I'm also going to actually fill in the row in front, which will be in line with the pale oak wood, just so we have it. And you should, in theory, just like perfectly layer this wall with gray concrete at the base, like against the white wall here. And then you'll stop once you're, you know, in line with this blue wall here, what sticks the furthest out. I'll then extend, is it all the way back? It's not quite all the way back. But for the purpose of this, I'm just going to extend all the way back with the gray, since we don't actually need to worry about the extras being there. They're not going to get in our way. We have a lot of open space on this top floor. Top floor is literally just this part, so you can see the turtles. Or dolphins, actually, not turtles. Actually, both. Never mind, I'm just wrong. But anyway, you want to, from this point, if you take that dolphin enclosure, you want to extend the block of coal corner here up by an additional, it should be 6, I think, and it'll connect into the polished blackstone bricks. It'll be outside of it a row or something weird. Yeah, it's outside of it a row. Like that. I'm then going to take the, it's where the block of coal is here, the like top row from that window we made earlier. And I'm going to end up extending that, what should be forward. You're going to extend this forward with 22 block of coal. I'll then bring this up by 6 and connect it back. And I'll fill this with glass as well. Might as well. If you also take this, you'll notice you're a block outside of this. If you kind of trace it to the turtle enclosure here, you're in line with actually the front, or the front wall of this one, which is one of the frog enclosures, the like back 3. You're behind the turtle by a block. Which is important, I swear. From this block of coal, you're going to go forward diagonally left with the same row of, I think it's 7 coming off the top, like so. And then you're pretty much just kind of connecting the corner. So I believe you should bring this one forward by, is it 21? Yeah, it's 21 to connect into the light gray, and then I'll bring it left here to connect into this corner. I'll bring this front left corner up by 6 along with the front right. Connect these 3 together at the top with block of coal. Actually, it's a row lower, so you want to, you can just place 2 down, that's fine. To fill that little mini, or that gap in the center in. And that should leave you with 4 rows to fill with glass on both the right and front. So yeah. Apologies, some of this has been a little bit weird. I don't have, like, proper notes, which I probably should have, but I wasn't expecting to record this today anyway, so I don't, like, know when I record half the time, so do expect that, I suppose. At the right side here, if you head all the way back, you're going to be a block further than the block of coal, and you're going to connect the gray kind of over, like so. And then I'll fill in the floor with light gray on this particular side, in line with the block of coal bottom of these enclosures. And yeah. And now we just have to actually, like, form a lot of the enclosure's size, which is gonna be a bit of a hassle, but that's okay. I mean, we gotta fill in this area first. So you'll have pale oak wood in each corner. It's the front right here, and then just like at the back, you'll place one off either pale or off either gray concrete corner, like so. Let me check if there's one over here. I don't know if there is. Yeah. So if you take the pale oak wood from the left side of the staircase, you'll bring it back with gray, and the back gray you'll extend right with the pale oak wood. Same thing, each pale oak wood up by 4, and each gray concrete up with 4 blue wool. And it'll should finish up your walls. And yeah, you'll notice that you have this entire space up here. You can do things with it if you'd like. I didn't because, yeah, I don't know what to do with it. A lot of the times in builds like this, I'll have a lot of dead space just because of the way that I design the exterior to look, that the interior doesn't exactly line up perfectly with that because, you know, I don't need all that space. But I wanted it to be for the, like, almost entirely 2 floors because of the amount of 2 floor areas we needed. And also the idea for the front, having that, like, blue glass arch. Either way, I'd be bringing that back, you figure, so it didn't really make sense to try to take it down, like over here. Ceiling of this is polished black stone just directly off the white wall. And then, again, now we just have to run around and fill in the enclosure walls and such. We'll start with the ones that we're next to, actually. And I do believe we have to delete something within the dolphin enclosure. Well, not really within it. You'll kind of see what I mean. It's a complicated, it's hard to explain without showing it. Well, not really. It's just like the sunroof, I think, is different. It's different in both, actually, the turtle and the dolphin, but the turtle one we don't have to destroy it. The dolphin one we do, because of the height of the coal. Nice. I'm just going to break through this glass wall here so I can pretty much access all of them from here. And if you are in the turtle one, I'll clear my inventory and get out the following. Block of coal, light blue concrete, blue concrete, polished blackstone brick, stairs, and sand. So all these are fairly easy because we have walls for them already. So what we're going to end up doing here is, if you take the 2 walls we have, you'll essentially take the bottom block of coal on the corners here and just kind of bring them together at a point. And they should connect here where we already have a wall, like so. You want both sections framed, basically, the bottom and the top. So I'm going to bring each corner of block of coal down to the ground and again connect them all in a rectangle down, or a square down here? Square. Not a rectangle. My alt account is lagging so bad right now. Then again, you'll do the same with the top block of coal. You don't need both rows. I'm just going to do the lower of the 2. But yeah, I can, like, because I'm in the turtle enclosure now, so I can just see the turtles freeze every once in a while and then just, like, glitch. It's great. 10 out of 10. The floor of the enclosure is just in line with the bottom row block of coal and it's sand. I'm going to slash fill this, actually. Just so we can kind of get a move on. This is terraformed, but that's a problem for later. The bottom walls, which you really only need the side ones here, are blue concrete. The top ones are light blue concrete. Top, you'll need all 2, I guess. The bottom, I'm just going to do the, like, from the glass on the bottom, I'll do the right and the left. The back, you technically don't need filled in. It might still be smart to fill it in just because it's, if we don't fill it in now, we're going to end up having an issue to where it's going to, like, as we terraform, it's going to get weird. But again, the top ones are light blue concrete. And then we'll fill them in with water when we do the rest of the detailing. And for one like this, I'm going to use slash fill. At the top, off of the polished blackstone bricks, you'll go down with upside down polished blackstone brick stairs that all face inwards. It should just give you a bit of a better trim at the top. I'll break over into the dolphin enclosure, which is the other large one. This one is, I don't know if I want to call it easier or harder, but it's something. It's pretty much the same thing as the turtles, though. The only major difference is the top. So, do the same thing where you frame, and you frame the kind of corners. And you already have 2 walls, as I mentioned, so you can kind of just connect those properly. Like this. And then, you know, you kind of have the end here, so you can bring this end over, and it should connect with the end of that one, actually. You are double layering the wall where the turtle enclosure is, though. that is something you do have to do. But the framing is kind of... It's all really just connecting corners that we have. And then, again, floor is sand. Bottom layer of walls are blue concrete. Top layers are light blue concrete. You do need all sides regardless in this one. Of if you want to, you know, save a bit of time and just not have to deal with it. But there's not a ton of terraforming here. Wow, I just got the message on console that I did that fill command. Because the, you know, the op chat where it appears. That's concerning. I don't know how you're lagging this bad. You're connected through LAN, but whatever. Surely that's not subtle foreshadowing. It's going to take 3 years to upload this video, right? Because it's a long video. Surely not a problem. I don't even know anymore. And then for the top of this one, as I'm filling this last wall, you're going to replace the polished blackstone brick blocks with the upside down stairs I mentioned. Which should be a block lower than the glass. You can just leave it the blocks if you want, but I think the upside down stairs look a little bit nicer. It is all freedom of choice, though. Because it is definitely an extra step to delete all that and replace it. For a change that really isn't that big. Nice. I'm going to free myself from this one and we can rapid fire the bottom, or the lower ones. So, oh my god. Let's start with these 3 small ones here on the, like, back side. What you're going to want to do for the sizing of them is just bring the corners of blocks of coal back by 5. And then connect them down and frame them the same way. These side walls are 4, basically. And they're all going to do the same thing that they do in the front, where they're kind of not even at the back for the distance over. And that is good. That is what you want. It just makes it look a little bit... The reason I actually do this is because the way that I make these enclosures so flat with the front of them anyway... Because you can't use pans because of water being weird with pans. But, it just makes them look a little bit better and kind of have a nicer feel to it. Rather than just having them all flat in a blank, boring wall. Especially when I have no beams or anything between them. So yeah, you should have this. For the flooring, we're gonna leave them pretty much open. Because I want to deal with those as we actually do the enclosures. However, for the actual walls, for the right one, you need the following. You need gray terracotta, orange terracotta, yellow terracotta, and cyan wool. So for this right one, it's just gray terracotta on top of the block of coal. And then wherever you want mountains up, it's orange terracotta for the middle and yellow terracotta for the top, and then cyan wool's the sky. So on the left side, I'll have 3 orange terracotta going back. Front 2, I'll have yellow on top of. Back right, I'll have 4 orange going left with yellow on top of the right 3. And I'll also have an orange coming forward on the right wall here. And then the rest will be cyan wool. So it looks like this. This is the Warm Frog, the variant. For the next one, I'll just clear my inventory, whatever. You need snow and light blue, or snow blocks and light blue terracotta. And you're just placing 1 row of snow around the bottom. And we'll go 1 row of light blue terracotta around the top. And then the middle row's a mix. So it's like maybe 2 light blue, 2 snow, 3 snow, 2 light blue, snow, and then 2 and 2 on the side as well. Something like that. Final one is the exact same thing, but with moss blocks and light blue concrete. So again, bottom row on top of the coal is moss. Top row will be light blue concrete. And then middle row is whatever. So I'll go 3 light blue, moss, then 3 moss, and 3 light blue on the back, and then 2 and 2 on the right, like so. I don't expect you to follow these perfectly. The point isn't really to be following them perfectly, it's just to get the general vibe down that you need. So, for the next ones, which are the squid ones on the left here, yeah, sure, we'll do those next. You'll need... We'll also do the axolotl, actually. So you'll need sand, blue concrete. Oh, he's a yellow axolotl. I forgot I made him yellow. Gravel. Coarse dirt. Maybe moss blocks. We might deal with that more so later. And we'll go deep slate, and obviously block of coal is important. So for each of these, you're extending the block of coal back by 10. And doing the same framing. We're almost done this part, I swear. I'm honestly starting to be like, please, just get me out of here. But it's these 3 enclosures, and then there's the 3 or 4 on that wall, however many it is, which are just fairly basic as well. And we're not even gonna worry about the one in the like lobby yet. Is it in the corner? It is in the corner. Right? Yeah, cool. The floor in both of them are gravel. Or is gravel, whatever. Something like that. Can I slash fill this? I should be able to slash fill this, yeah. Apologize if you are not familiar with using slash fill and are like, wait a minute, why are you doing that? I'm just trying to get this done a little bit faster. The right one will have more details in later, but for now we're just going to make the wall pure deep slate, and you want to make sure they all face upward. Or downward, I guess. It technically doesn't matter that much, but just, you know, don't have them facing sideways. Because deep slate is for some reason a directional block. I don't get that. Like, I just don't. Like, out of all the directional blocks in the game, why is deep slate directional? That doesn't make sense. Anyway, you should have this. The right one, I'm going to tell you to do the bottom 3 rows as coarse dirt, and the top one is moss. But you can do it differently. You can also have points where it comes down. The only point that I don't have it directly, this is the back wall. I have kind of like, it's like 1 coarse dirt on the right, then 2, well, actually no, this is the top row, never mind, so it'd be, on the next row down to be right as a coarse dirt, 2 moss, 4 coarse dirt, and then end with 2 moss as well. But, yeah. Like that. The axolotl enclosure in the center here, you're pretty much just making it the size that you have here. That one is pretty obvious. You're just bringing the block of coal forward until they're in the corners, and just framing directly inside of this little box we made. It's quite the helpful box. The floor is sand, and the walls are the same as the frog ones with sand and blue concrete. At least the 2 frog ones. So, again, you want a row of sand at the bottom. Row of blue concrete at the top. And then a mix in the center of whatever you think makes sense. I will copy it perfectly. I won't actually, like, go into detail, but I will kind of show you. It looks like this. The only other 2 we need are the, or 3, I mean, are the fish enclosures. Before you clear your inventory, though, these are actually very easy. So, if you head over, if you're above here, you want to kind of head all the way over to this side. And if you just sneak into this area, you're really just bringing the block of coal back to the end, and you're framing within each of these boxes. So you're going all the way over with the corners, and then, you know, you'll hit the stone bricks, and that's where you'll extend up, and then connect back forward. I did not go high enough, though. It's really quite easy. It's just, we already made the shape on the exterior, so we're just, you know, using that shape to our advantage to create these blocks. And these ones are, in general, just kind of nice, because they're 4 enclosures, but only 2 different designs. Pretty much. I mean, there are some, obviously, variation, but they're the same kind of concept. And we don't even need to get anything else out material-wise, because we already have everything that we need. The squid, salmon, and cod, I want to say, are all the same, and they're just like a river kind of vibe, like a riverbank. So, yeah. We'll still make them separately, and I'll probably show you a lot of that block for block, but we'll see. You should have this. In the two closest to the front, which is that blue wool wall there with the kind of pale oak wood strips in the middle, and you can see that portion of the sand, the floor in either of them will be gravel. And for this one, I'm going to make the walls for both of them entirely coarse dirt. I'm not going to have the moss here because the moss ends up not being on the flat walls. It's only on the points where the river gets terraformed inwards. And as you're filling these in, make sure you keep pushing yourself to the like backside towards the enclosures we have yet to do. Like here, when I fill this wall in, I'm going to make sure that I end up on this side so I can fill in the next one with the coarse dirt as well. And yeah, I use coarse dirt rather than regular dirt because I just like the way the coarse dirt looks better, I'm not going to lie. But regular dirt is obviously an option. You could even use rooted dirt or some other thing I haven't considered, but I just think coarse dirt is the best texture out of the dirt blocks. Nice. The next two are sand for the floor. And we have that weird mix in the wall, but I'm gonna go over this one a little bit more in depth because of the fact that you have two layers that you're dealing with that pattern. So for both these, I'm gonna on the walls, I'll have the row of sand at the bottom and the row of blue concrete at the top. Same thing as usual. However, you have 2 blocks between your walls this time, so. I really don't use the top row like at all, but I'll show you kind of what the deal is. So you want to do the same thing with the mixed on the second row. So I'm gonna actually just copy it. Make sure you do kind of go a little bit more sand for this one though in certain spots. Like you could still go like, you know, a couple over here, maybe like that. Because I'll break that one since I can go through. The next row, basically, if there's a blue concrete on top, you're gonna still want a blue concrete. Where there's sand, you can either place blue concrete again or another row of sand. Decide based on the, like, how much sand you have. Like, if you see here you have this row of 1, you're not going to bring just a 1 up because that's going to look weird. But if you have, like, a row of 2, you probably don't want to bring that up either. I'd say 3 is, like, where you have it minimum. Or even if you have, like, the 2 against a wall, so you can do that. I think that looks fine. Same thing in the other one. In this one, I really only have a hill in the corner like this, kind of. And then everything else is just like some basic sand. But yeah. So, once you've done that, ladies and gentlemen, that is part 1 of the aquarium interior complete. So, part 2, as I've mentioned, is going to be everything else that's left. It's really not going to be as bad as it looks, trust me. A lot of these hallways are fairly blank. It's just doing the enclosures that's going to suck, but we'll probably get a lot of those out of the way immediately, just because. But yeah, there's also one floor we're going to have to change, I think, if I remember. I should, because I just realized I forgot now, but I don't feel like adding it in this late. Anyway, that being said, thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys did enjoy this video, have a fantastic rest of your day or night, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.